Hi there. It's surprising to me that people have basically forgotten their primary response in 2007 when the banking system was turned out to be such a fraud. And right now you can see that there's nothing that has changed. So I don't really see why the response should have changed. Another observation that I'm making is that people are not realizing that this whole New World Order that they talk about is already here. They are living it. This is what it is to have a New World Order, what you're now experiencing. And it's basically the fact that governments have become a sideshow, basically a distraction for the public, so that corporations can do whatever they want. Banks, corporations, oil companies can basically go around their business, cooperating with each other and making sure that you basically feel powerless, have to run to the supermarket and get what you need, and then wait at home for the paycheck from the government or something like that. Because you're not needed. They're big factories, they do all the work, they take the natural resources where nobody can object, and that's it. And they'll go on. The problem is they'll go on until everything is dead. That's basically their modus of operation, because they don't, if something is empty, then they go to the next vessel. If a mine is empty, they go to the next mine. If oil well is dry, then they go frack the gas out of the earth. It's a business. It's about money. It's not about people, it's not about survival, it's about going as long as possible. It's basically burning, it's basically arbitrage of entropy, you can almost say. Whatever we can rub together that makes some heat, or we can shift and displace and move around so that somebody wants to do something for us, so it keeps itself alive. It's like fire. And it's easy to stop, actually. It's very easy to stop. And people should try that again. You should kind of renew your vow to free yourself of this New World Order, which is here already. And I guess two things I think are very important to do that I want to remind people of. That's why I'm making this video. One is get your money out of the bank. If you have a bank account with let's say a reserve of $1,000 or something like that, and you don't need it for transactions immediately, take it out of the bank. If you can then make these transactions outside the bank, that's of course fine, because you can simply write a note with a sign and sign it, and make sure that this, for the tax purposes of course, doesn't become a suspicious thing. But you have to take your money out of the bank, because the banks are still leveraging your money, and that enables, let's say, 30 times as much money to go around and waste and destroy your planet. And that's not necessary, because you can basically take the position that if you need something, you'll pay for it. And if there's a need for it, then of course many people will pay for it, and the money will be there to do it. There's no need for a bank to create new money, to invest, etc. That's just their myth. That's what they say. That's the fight they want you to have amongst each other. With other people. Like you have a loan, they have a loan. And you slug it out until you're all tired and destroyed and deeply in debt. Stop that, get your money out of the bank, tell everybody else to do it, and start a cash economy. And one idea that I had was to basically get a database with the numbers of the dollar bills and make sure that you don't allow any dollar bills that are new. Then you don't have any inflation. But of course that's very difficult. But you can have local economies with local money that way very easily, so I might still do it. The second is, don't buy big brands. Don't buy big brands. Buy small brands. And don't buy small brands that are actually big brands, so you have to think about that. If you hear that Coca-Cola is drying up, Coca-Cola is such a good it's so easy to find an alternative to Coca-Cola. It might not, the immediate taste might not be that good, but the fact that you have to do whatever it is to depower this corporate government. And your vote is your money. You vote with your money, because the money that you pay in your supermarket for the corporate products is what keeps these corporations operational. And the banks are happy to devour any corporation that turns out to be weak, because they don't have any scrupulous, they don't have any moral objections to that. So I think those two things are very easy to do, and I'm doing them themselves. I have a minimum amount in the bank. I have everything in metals, and I don't buy any corporate crap. And see how easy that is and how big an effect that can have. And I guess if you're somewhat conscious of the environment, don't eat any fish. Make sure that that industry has to go bankrupt very quickly.